What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Pillars of Eternity. My name is Splattercat, and I'm happy to have you here today as we hang out for a little bit and hopefully avoid getting ourselves annihilated. I don't know, the last couple episodes gone a little bit rough. I am not quite the scrappy bastard that I thought I was. Things have not gone that way. Oh, look, there's dead guys over here. Well, you guys all attack then. And while you're all attacking, I'm going to come up with a general purpose plan right now to eliminate our foes. How's that sound? I'm gonna go for a fan of flames right there. It sort of worked, a little bit. These seem to be sort of like spammy enemies, though. They don't seem to focus on hitting real hard, so we'll work our way through them. You're fighting back, right? Make sure that you're fighting back right now. I would appreciate it. Thanks. And then throw out your once per encounter ability. Get like a tiny little bit of health back. It's not much, but it helps out. It's something, I guess. It doesn't look like it does much more than like 10, 15. I don't think we get specifics on that one. How much do we get right there? It's modified by how well his reputation is going. Okay. So I guess I can live with that. We'll get some vessel flesh out of there. Welcome back, everybody. In the previous episode, we got our asses whooped a couple of times. It had been a little bit nasty. We got some direwood. We got Fulvano's boots of Constitution +1. Okay. Constitution sounds good. I don't know who I should throw that on right now. Everybody needs some kind of Constitution, though. So I guess I'll probably get him equipped with the fine bow rather than the normal one. Should I give Fulvano's boots to him, or should I give Fulvano's boots to somebody else? They don't change the graphic, unfortunately. Though never famed as he would claim, the Valian explorer Fulvano was known as an eccentric who wished to see the world, where possible he traveled by foot, wishing to gain a local's appreciation for the sights, sounds, and smells of the lands he passed through. In practice, however, Fulvano often claimed that his explorations proved only that the world outside the Valian republics was a foul, smelly place that paled in comparison to his homeland. The pair of boots is said to have belonged to Fulvano, and the initials burned into the leather would seem to bear that out. Fulvano was very particular about his boots, for they had to endure a great deal of use, and they were constructed to be as hardy as their wearer. Okay, and if you really wanted to make them, you get some hardy jeans to go along with them as well, just in case you wanted to bring your hardiness up to a whole new level. Let's continue our little walk through the forest. I'm a completionist when it comes to these zones, and so I like to make sure that I've locked down everything. Oh shit, what did that do? A forest troll, and it looks like we're having some kind of weird hallucination right now. Okay, well the forest trolls aren't so bad, so let's bring everybody in right here. Let's get started, shall we? Both of you guys get up in here and start attacking. I think I'd rather have you trip the enemy out right now, like he's on his third weed cookie. And then you just use the abilities that you have, I guess. Swing out wide. Swing out wide, I suppose. Looks like we've got a knockdown already. Start off with a little bit of a bombardment right here. If I can stop stammering and making a fool of myself through my commentary. And so the bombardment having come to its completion. Let's finish this thing off lickety-split, and I don't mean that you should lick it until it splits. Don't lick the forest troll. Seems like a great way to catch some kind of weird disease, or at least lose feeling in your tongue. You guys get anything done right here? 9 damage done right there. A little bit of damage dealt to our healer. Let's throw that out just to heal off a little bit. And so down goes another troll, I guess. Come on, you're messing up my timing right here. I need you all to die. And I don't want to waste my spells on something that we're going to be able to kill easily. So there it is. Finally, I spoke too soon. Then again, I speak too much, I speak too soon. Such are the afflictions of the Splattercat. Another big dragon corpse. So was it like a dragon battle out here? Like they just got out here and just started dragging each other around until finally somebody died? Because there are a lot of very, very large corpses out in this area. The bones feel as hard as stone, yet surprisingly light. Okay. Well, we've got human bones. We got dragon bones from dragon battles. There's another pair right there. Did they come in pairs? I guess it would be a pair of skeletons. So I'll stick by it. Field mice scatter, crawling between the beast's teeth. Suppose it's been dead long enough for the field mice to be right there. Field mice are adorable, by the way. When I go camping out in the middle of nowhere, there's always field mice around. They like to sit next to the fire with you, actually, especially if you throw them a little bit of food. Like to hang out by the fire with you. They're actually not that skittish once they realize you're not going to bother them. Very smart little animals. Intelligent little animals that draw conclusions, unless you're particularly cruel anyways. One of those people that likes to like trick animals into a false sense of happiness and then stomp them out. I'm not that sort of person, so I'm just saying. I like being around little mice and things. I have no desire to hurt animals of any kind. We'll get a trip on out right here. And sure, let's do an interdiction after this comes back up. Okay, drop an interdiction out there to make sure the enemy is dazed. And so now that the enemy has had its accuracy reduced, we'll finish this off in the same way that we always do, by tripping the hell on out of this enemy. I don't know if we do more damage when the enemy is tripped. It looks like it's a push attack, puts him prone. And when an enemy is prone, their dexterity is reduced, reflex and deflection are reduced by quite a bit. So it increases our accuracy. We don't actually get to beat on them any more efficiently, though. It just makes us hit a lot more. That's cool, though. I like hitting. Hitting on a troll doesn't seem like the sort of... Well, never mind. I'll be honest here. I've hit on a few trolls. It is what it is. Down goes the enemy, and we shall strip the flesh from its bones.
Hey, of course.
Looks like we've got... Is that a third skeleton or a second one? I don't know. I'm losing count right now. We're getting above the numbers that I'm familiar with, namely 0, 1, and 2. Once we get towards that upper boundary, I should get very, very nervous about the limits of what we can talk about here. So we got some more blood moss on this side. Sounds good to me. We could always use a few more alchemical reagents. On this side, nothing that looks incredibly lootable except for another troll, which I will activate our auto attack on. We'll get up in here and we'll knock it prone. On your ass, dear sir. Okay, you're not dear to me. You're just... Ooh. Well, unfortunately, he appears to be staying on his feet a little bit more efficiently than some of the enemies we fought with before. Let's go for our interdiction right now. We'll keep the enemy nice and dazed so that when it pops out... Oh, we've got multiple foes up and in here, which means that we're going to have to bring this up a notch. I don't think anything bad is going to happen if we don't, but we do need some more damage done. Let's take a little bit of pain right here, and I don't relish the thought of leaving this fight running for much longer than it has to be. A little bit of AoE damage right there, and we'll follow it up with the second one, although I don't really see the point unless we can knock this guy out on the next turn. Unfortunately, he deflected it, so this one's going to regenerate before we can finish off his friend.
I shall deal with this one.
Come on. Knock him back down before it's a total failure. We've lost enough health to where I think I should probably throw out my AoE heal. There it is, and so the tingly light of Mega Fantasy Jesus has washed over us. I prefer that my heals be washed over. If the heals are dirty, it's more like a dirtying over. And I guess you can pepper or dust somebody with a heal if you wanted to go with the opposite, but I prefer to be washed rather than dusted with heals. So this enemy should be down pretty soon. I guess I'll do that attack right there. That seems okay. We need the endurance anyway, so... I don't know if that's helping at all. Let me click on our character real fast and find it. It does not look like it's helping. So let's go for a little bit of a light heal here. There it is. Something to keep us aloft a little bit longer. Finish him! I would prefer that this enemy die. Let's speed this up slightly. Can we speed up the combat? No, we can't actually. We're pretty much stuck at the rate that we are currently employing. Enemies down though, and I called that one just right. I felt like I could stare down the bull right there if I really, really wanted to. I'm thinking I might want to start engaging these fights with a little bit of range, though. I don't know. His HP is pretty low. It might be a good idea to just, like, acquit ourselves at this place. I don't know. Let's go for our last campfire. After this, we're going to head back to town anyways to turn in that Smith quest. So there it is.
Hey.
Yeah.
Swap in our bows. Didn't I pick up a really good bow? Did I swap that in already? Let me take a look real fast. Did I? The fine hunting bow. It does 13 to 20 versus... 14 to 20. Oh, he had a war bow to begin with? Well, damn, that swap out's not going to help much now, is it? But this guy has a hunting bow, which is 12 to 17, so that'll help him out. There it is. So now our damage is a little bit better. We've got a pry bar, and we've got a grappling hook. I think I picked that up in the previous episodes in order to make sure that we could get up some of the little inclines and things that were around. I think I'm going to try and engage with our enemies at a range from now on. Have we hit everything? Is that the entire zone? It looks like there's something waiting for us on this right-hand edge. So let's go for that. Then we'll go turn in all of these Smith's implements and hopefully get ourselves a nice discount. We've got, oh, some kind of mushroom over there. Let's go ahead and halt our initiatives. We'll start out with a little bit of damage, although it doesn't appear to do much to him. What are these? Forest lurkers. Look like they got pretty good defense. I don't know that I want to fight with these right now. These might be a bad prospect for us. I don't know if we can kite them out like you used to in the olden days with Neverwinter Nights and some of those games where you just like run backwards firing bows at them. But that's the option that I'm going to employ for right now. Get out of combat. Ow, get out of combat. Okay, he's bound in combat. It looks like he's been shackled somehow. What does that do? He's stuck. Ew.
Of course.
How long does that last for? 3.9 seconds. That lasts for a long-ass time. Wow, that's sort of horrifying. Okay, so let's never do that again.
All right then.
Not even one time. If we can kite these out, though, I think that we can actually probably... They seem really, really tough. I don't think they regenerate or anything, though. Doesn't look like they do. Maybe bombardment's the way to go. Let's go for a necrotic on that one. Then you guys keep peppering away with the bows. Yeah, you don't need to be that close. That seems like a really, really, really bad plan.
Doing the job. Lava will be on seek.
And that appears to have accomplished nothing. You know what? I'm going to let these go for right now. I think these might be too tough for us. It doesn't appear to be the case that we can deal any damage to them, so... might be a better chance to just walk the hell on away. I'd like to go back to Gilded Vale, but let's go west first. Like, we're out of camping supplies, and we're actually a little bit outside of our element, so... Let's go upwards, and then we'll cut west to Gilded Vale, and hopefully everybody doesn't get too exhausted. I don't know if enemies respawn in this game. If they do, that might create like a Todd McFarlane type problem. Todd McFarlane-sized problem, which is a man-sized problem, I guess. He is but a man, after all. And that's what I was hoping would happen right there, that we'd be able to adventure back to Gilded Vale now that we've got all of our goodies sort of stowed away. We've made a little bit of money, we've gotten a little bit of XP, and we've completed the quest that we set out to accomplish, and so... all in all, not a bad couple days. Into town we go. Who is this cat? You'd think these rains would be a boon for the crops. You'd think, but nope. Let's speed the game up slightly so that we can get back over to the tavern. I'm going to have them move in the general direction so that I'm not wasting my own time right now. There it is. I suppose if you had a watch that hung from your belt, that would be literally wasting your time. Huh? Anybody? Dad jokes for the day? Huh? Anybody want to get down on that one? Back into the tavern we go. I'm going to rest until morning. Hopefully that'll get everybody all nice and fixed back up so we can have our spells and all of our goodies ready for use. They said that this lady over here had information on how we could help with Radric. I'd like to know more. Well, let's go for a room first. Certainly, you're always welcome. And so we'll go with a... Let's go with a laborer's rest, I guess. We have money for it. They've earned it. They completed their task, and so I figured they deserve a lovely little reward. They won't ever know that it's my fault that they got the reward, because in their heads right now, they're controlling the show, but you know what I mean. If I wanted to hire some help, it's 500 CP for a new guy. What do you have for sale? Because I got a lot of stuff. Actually, I'll save the two-handed sword for right now. We'll sell off some of the bows. I don't know if we're going to need the stag hide for later, so maybe I'll put that into... my stash. However, we do have a lot of weapons that we can sell. Let me put back a couple of daggers. No. There we go. We'll keep like a rough assortment of some of the things that we need. What is that right there? A hunting bow. A hunting bow. We've already got a couple of those, so I figure I'll get rid of them. No need to carry around too much stuff here. Got a whole bunch of armor. And this is in my stash right now, or is this like on my person? Okay, so on my person, we've got that right there. We've got that right there. Combine those stacks. And inside of my stash, got an extra hide armor, an extra leather. What's different about those? Are they just, like, differently styled? Okay, I don't think they do anything different, but they look a little different, so there it is. We'll trade all those off so that we can be over 1,000 gold right now. I don't know if it's a good idea to hire more adventurers. We have a cleric. We have a fighter. We have a mage. I'd like to solidify a little bit. Maybe get somebody that, like a ranger or something. Somebody that can fight from a distance. Keep them out of combat's way, but at the same time dealing a lot of damage. I don't know. Let's go for a level 1 adventurer. Why not? I don't know if this is a good gamble right now. We haven't met any other characters, so I figure we'll go for it. Or is it somebody random? Oh, we get to do the whole thing over again. Okay, well, let's go for a female. I guess we'll have a... female dwarf, maybe? I don't know. Maybe we go for one of the... Let's go for a female halfling, actually. This party right now is like a sausage fest, so I figure we'll kind of like diversify a little bit. We can have a wild Orlan, or we can have a normal Orlan. I mean, I guess they're all normal. I suppose I'll go for like a Hearth Orlan. That seems okay. And then I wanted her to be a... We need a rogue, too. That's the other part. So we could just have a rogue that's good with bows if we wanted to. That might not be the worst plan. Save us some points on those mechanics, too, which I think I've already wasted a few. Although we could just make the ranger really, really good. The ranger has a bond with an animal companion. Yeah, let's just stick with the ranger for right now. And so she can have wounding shot or marked prey. Designates a single target as prey, giving the ranger and the animal a damage bonus against that target. Wounding shot. Primary attack plus 1 times damage inflicted. I'm going to go with marked prey. And then we can have any companion that we want. A boar, a lion, a stag, a wolf. How do they change? Is it just... Oh, they actually do different stuff. So melee attacks that hit all enemies in a small area. So AoE. That one's going to have a terrifying roar. The boar is going to have more damage when health is lower. The bear companion is going to have unusually high damage, giving them protection from... Okay, so that's basically got armor. The antelope is going to have superior defenses. And then the wolf companion is going to be able to do a lot of damage and can also disengage easier. I think I'll probably go with... Oh, I don't know. The bear companion seems pretty good. The damage reduction is going to be universal, whereas the roar is going to suffer a saving throw, which is going to get harder and harder to make, I guess, as time goes along. Let's give her a bear that she hangs out with. So her animal companion's name, obviously we have to call it Woogie, in respect to our Shadowrun playthrough. And now that we've got that, we've got to assign her points. And so might, dexterity are going to be really good for her. And so I suppose we'll go for a fair amount of dexterity, obviously, because we want that one to fire very, very quickly. Maybe a little bit of constitution right there, some might. I don't know how that helps out with ranged. It contributes to both damage and healing, I guess universally. Whereas that gives you... Okay, so I'll take that back a little bit since it doesn't affect our hit chance. It just gives us action. Yeah, it gives us action speed and then reflexive defenses. And so I suppose I'll go up with strength right now. A little bit of perception seems like a good idea. Grants a bonus to interrupt. That might not be so bad. Let's try that out. We'll see what interrupt does. I don't think that any of that's going to matter too much. So next, we got to decide where she comes from. Doesn't really matter to me, so I'll probably just pick the coolest armor and also the thing that I feel helps us the most. Living Lands has pretty cool armor. Perception, I'll probably go for... Let's go after... What was it for her constitution? She had 2 constitution right now, so she gets a little bit of extra endurance. Not much, though. Deadfire Archipelago will give us more dexterity, so let's stick with that for right now. I want her to be like a machine gun, but with a bow, if you get what I mean. And then we've got... Her background could be... I wanted her to be really, really good with stealth. And then stealth, if I could get stealth and mechanics, I think that's what I'm looking for in here. Stealth survival works. Athletics and lore. Stealth and survival. Anybody? Doesn't look like we have stealth or survival. So instead, I guess I'll go with you. I guess athletics and mechanics will work. So let's go with labor. On this side, I think we got to get her, or that's the color for tunic. Obviously, we got to get her in theme with everybody else so that we all look like the same crew. Secondary can just be like any sort of real leather color, I guess. Skin color's fine. Hair color's looking pretty good. I think that's acceptable. And then as far as heads go, it looks like there's only 2. I like the one that we already had. Let's give her a better hairstyle, I guess. Although I do like that hairstyle right there. A little bit of a pixie cut or something. I don't want to be too stereotypical of the wee folk, though. I suppose I'll go with... That one's pretty fetching. That works. Let's go with that one right there. And then we got to give her... Actually, if we lighten her hair color up slightly... That one could work for us. We could actually do the first portrait that we get right there, and that'll just save us a whole bunch of trouble. So there it is. And then for her...
I shall lead us. A blade in the dark. Yes?
Let's go!
My eyes are peeled.
Let's go for feisty, I suppose. I don't mind having Fausty. I'll take feisty over Fausty, I guess. I can't deal with any, like, demonic problems. And we'll call her Paisley... Oh, I don't know. Oh... Hannah Gannigan. No! I guess it's just going to be Hannah. Damn it. Well... Can Gannigan fit? No! It's so tiny. Well, damn it. We don't have the space. Well, I guess we'll call her Paisley O'Panahan then. That's not nearly as much fun as what I had. She's supposed to be Paisley O'Panahan Gannigan. Unfortunately, since we're going to have to abbreviate, I guess that leaves us where we are. So there it is, Paisley O'Panahan, even though she only has 1 N in her. Oh, good, I can rename her whenever I want it. Good, because I have a typographical error right there. And it would please me If I could fix the logos. Does that count? I don't know. Fix the nomenclature. Nonetheless, got ourselves a new character, which is pretty badass. Hell yeah. I'm going to be a little bit disappointed if we run down the line later on and we end up with somebody else that's like... So that's how we select the bear right there. How are the bear's stats? 39 endurance and 191. Yeah. We got a real party right now. It looks like we have space for 6 guys. So I think that'll work out. I think everybody's rested for right now. Everybody's looking good. We need to talk to the smith. That's what it was. So let's speed on out and talk to our metallic friend and see if maybe we can get ourselves a little bit of a monetary financial bonus for helping him out. How's that sound? I've been trying to be a good guy lately and kind of like give away freebies, but when it comes to the smith, I think I might have to go all in. We never checked and saw what was down those stairs either. Maybe we look in here real fast. What's inside of here? You there, large chasm. Can I plumb your depths? Wretched beasts. Haven't been here for must be 5 or 6 years. Used to be real nice and bright and warm. A man lies resting against the wall, lit by the dim illumination of the fading sconces. He has a gaunt fox-like aspect, and his face is pale and damp with sweat. One arm is held loosely against his side, sleeve soaked with blood. He gives you an anxious glance as you near, his features twisted with pain. Have a care if you mean to go in. He casts a quick look towards the doorway to his left. This place is not so empty as I originally thought. He angles a look up at Idir. Paying your respects, Eothasian? He manages a pained grin. A little risky, isn't it? Think what the townsfolk would say. Safer down here than up there, even with the rats as big as they are. A faint edge of hostility belies Idir's playful tone. The temple isn't what it used to be, probably for the best. Times being as they are. He groans and shifts position, wincing. I'm no looter, if that's what you're thinking. Not one of his types, either. Wurtan jerks his chin towards Idir. Just wanted to do some good, I suppose. Got my arm chewed up for it. He regards you wearily. Maybe you'd have better luck. Better luck with what? The man points a finger towards, or upwards. Those ruins around us, or these ruins around us, they used to be a temple of Eothas, the scattered god, a grand temple at that. His worshippers would come from all over the Deerwood, from Riedseris even. Not so much from Riedseris these days. Until the war, of course. Even then, you'll still get some of the stubborn ones, the ones that couldn't get it through their heads that their god was dead and gone. We don't worship Eothas, so we can't get there. Lord Radric allowed them to worship? Lord Radric would clear out the place from time to time and make a rest. It wasn't until the legacy that he started losing his patience. He sent his guards in to put the priest to the sword, bring the place down and burn some of the books, and that was that. He looks away. Once the legacy started, Lord Radric decided he'd been too lenient on the Eothasians. He had his people go in and put them to the sword. Left them down there, buried under a heap of rock. After that, Radric ordered the temple sealed. It's been years like that up until recently. Lord Radric hopes that if we rededicate the temple to a living god, then we'll be forgiven and the legacy will end. See? He smiles wryly. But until the temple is as you see it, unguarded, and that's where you come in. Wurtan licks his lips. Those priests, maybe they didn't have a lick of sense between them, but they still didn't deserve to go out like that, chopped down in their god's house. It doesn't sit right with me. If you can get down there, find their remains, maybe we can finally give them a proper burial. Wurtan breathes out. It's no small task. There's coin in it for you if you need motivating. Alloth's cautious expression softens. A pleasant surprise to see that someone around here has a shred of respect for the dead. Alright, well, you want me to bring you some skeletons? I'd bury them where they are if I could. I know it's a little macabre, but if we don't get them out of Radric's liable, or if they don't get them out now, Radric's liable to destroy them, or whatever's left of them. I'll find them. Then by the flame, I owe you a good turn. Not over the flame, though, right? You're not going to turn me over a flame? That would make you a cannibal. But listen, the temple's been sealed off for so long, it's crawling with critters. But if you can get past them, the priests would have been down on the lower floor. They'll be there still. If they're anywhere, of course they'll be still. They're dead. Those priests had all kinds of secret chambers, switches in the walls, trick sconces, that kind of thing. Keep an eye out and take care down there. Wouldn't want to have to send someone else after your remains. I'll wait here by the stairs and keep a lookout. Maybe try to patch myself up some. Sounds good. Buried secrets. But first things first, since we're getting towards the end of the episode, I promised you all that we turn in that quest. And I feel like this would be a really, really good time to do it. So let's do it, shall we? Let's see here. There's a small child walking around over there. Where was the blacksmith's place? I figure it'll have some kind of spout or locality denoting the fact that there will be smoke and other refuse coming on out. There it is. Or an anvil. That works for me too. Okay, let's see what we got here.
Hail, traveler.
Hand over the crate. I found that shipment you were waiting on. Tautanu reaches out to take the crate, raising it effortlessly onto the counter. His face splits in a broad smile. Why, so you have. This is excellent news. We can finally get back to work and show you how a real black hammer quality, or show you real black hammer quality. None of these flimsy little swords. Here, I'll give you a taste. He ducks behind the counter and rises with a heavy wooden shield in hand. Might not have had much in the way of materials to work with, but it's still black hammer craftsmanship. You go on and take that. And here, some coin for your troubles too. His pleased expression dims. Did you find anyone with the wagon? Bandits overtook it. I doubt your people survive. Tuatanu shakes his head, running a hand over his bald pate. I don't know that word. New one. Poor fools. Always told them they ought to hire some guards instead of palming the extra coin. He sighs. I'll have to hire on more hands. Don't suppose you want to settle in Gilded Vale or try some delivery work, huh? He smiles thinly. You have my thanks nonetheless for your assistance, friend. Give me some time to work the forge and you'll have your pick of the next run of weapons. Hell yeah. And so there it is. Did we get ourselves any XP for that run? We did indeed. We got a big old fistful of XP. We also got 100 copper and we got the larder door. Why would we want the larder door? Is it any good? It does look like a door. It gives 16 deflection as opposed to the 12 that we had right there. Gives -8 to accuracy though, unfortunately, but gives bashing 2. What does bashing 2 do? Doesn't look like I can actually click on that one right there. It may give you a bashing attack of some kind. If we throw it onto our character, I think we might. Let's see how this plays out. So there, we have our character equipped. I don't see any bash attacks in there. Maybe it makes him resistant to being bashed or something. I don't know. I'll have to look it up in between episodes. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerdcastle for the next episode of Pillars of Eternity. I look forward to seeing you all in future episodes, having a real blast with this game. I'll see you all in the next episode. Hi, do everybody.